It's important for everyone to understand that allyship is a verb. It's not a noun. It's about the actions that you take to be an advocate for anyone who has less power or privilege than you may have. Everyone at F5 could be an ally. It's going to take everybody taking responsibility for the small changes, the nudges that they see they need in the world, and will create that change that we're seeking to make, which is a big change, and it will take everybody. But that's why here at F5, we ask everyone to be an ally and everyone to do the inspection process for where they can contribute.
It was really early in my career.
I was going through some very challenging times.
I was on a team at work, and it was mostly men.
I had a woman on my team. She was having an issue of getting herself heard and seen.
One of my team members was working to get his work authorization renewed.
I was tracking the news of what was happening in India. The situation with the second wave of COVID was really heart-wrenching.
I was an account manager at the time. I really didn't have any aspirations to do anything different. I was one of very few Black people in this role, and that was a bit intimidating.
When I was filling out my form, they didn't have an option for non-binary. I reached out to the recruiter that I was working with just to ask, I'm not sure what to put down here because neither of these is who I am.
They couldn't see her through her accent. They would get overly focused on, I can't understand her, that they weren't looking at the work that she was actually doing. She knew she was providing value. She knew she was doing real work, but the thing that she didn't realize was that she was combating bias, specifically unconscious bias.
During one meeting, somebody made an inappropriate and sexist joke.
I was in this meeting and we started talking about promoting a female. I felt like we were not talking enough about her contributions, and they were focusing on her style. And I really had the question of, would they be saying the same thing if she were a male? So I did decide to ask that question.
My manager saw what was going on, and he decided to speak up.
I decided to speak up.
I decided to speak up.
A manager decided to speak up on my behalf and advocate for me for a managerial role. To have someone, a white male, recognize something in me that I didn't see in myself, it opened up so many different doors, so many opportunities for me to further my career.
We worked with our external counsel and we ended up writing to our congressional leaders. And we managed to get his work authorization renewed, and we also secured his green card.
It's really hard to explain how invisible you feel when it's something as basic as not being able to say your gender on a form. So the recruiter, it was great, honestly. She pushed that up the chain to her management, said, look, we need to fix this. We need to make sure that anybody who comes and applies for a job is able to be who they really are.
I knew we had to take her accent off the table to get to her value. I think this woman needed an ally. Like many women, we haven't always been in a place to surface our value and have a voice at the table.
She reached out and said, Patty, I'm so sorry to hear what's happening in India, and I want you to know that I'm here and I'm thinking of you and your family. I did not expect it. People started pledging, donating to the causes and helping. As a company, we were helping each other thrive, but we were also helping the world thrive.
I kind of raised my hand and said, I'm really uncomfortable with this kind of humor, and I would really ask that we just stop with that. That was something that hadn't happened before, that somebody intervened.
I definitely remember thinking back to, should I speak up, should I not? And I thought, you know what, I need to. It gave me a confidence as I continued on my career to speak up with more and more confidence each time. And I felt like each time it became easier.
Having advocates and allies has helped me in my own journey. I could have been frustrated and either left the company or just kind of given up. Advocates help you pull through that.
I'm a firm believer in the idea that if everybody just did small, good things, that they intervened, that it would be transformative.